Good morning, afternoon, and or evening. My name is Derek, Professor Silly, and welcome to my journey through the history of heavy metal albums. I am listening to albums in chronological release date order that are considered by some or many to be important to the development of heavy metal as a genre. What is heavy metal? I've been wrestling with this question from the very beginning, and I recently came across a definition that actually resonates with me a little bit, and that is, the definition is rock and roll minus the blues equals metal. One could refine that to hard rock minus the blues equals metal. Now that's saying there's going to be metal bands that definitely have bluesy aspects to them. They're going to be on this list. So I don't know how accurate that is, but clearly all of the albums that I've listened to so far, arguably hard rock, proto-metal albums, a lot of them have very strong bluesy elements. One could argue that the first Black Sabbath album is the first metal album. It's very bluesy. And so there's those that argue it's the first metal album, and I think that's a valid argument. And then there's those that argue that it's not, that it's hard rock, hard blues that laid the initial foundation for what would become heavy metal. I can see that argument as well. Who am I, and why does my opinion matter? It absolutely doesn't matter. I'm just a Gen X musician. I listened and played heavy metal as a youth, played in a heavy metal cover band in my later high school years, through high school actually, from 15 until 18, playing Metallica and Motley Crue and all of that stuff. All of the bands we'll be covering later as we move through this journey. And I got into what could arguably be described as alternative metal, and then avant-garde metal. And my tastes evolved from there, but some of my favorite bands of all time still could be considered avant-garde metal. And we'll be revisiting those as we go through this journey as well. But I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude. This is just my opinions. The rating here is 100% subjective. You may like something more than I like it. I may like something more than you like it. That's just what it is. 100% subjective. So that is what it is. Now, in order to keep these videos going on this channel and not to run afoul of copyright issues, I need to keep these videos as fair use. And to do that, considering I'm doing entire albums, I will be commenting and talking over the music. I'm not going to pause it. I'll pause between tracks, but I'm not going to pause during a song. Otherwise, these videos would be way too long. That's just the nature of the YouTube game. So I will put a link to the album in my description. So if you want to go listen to the album without me talking over it, feel free. You can do that. I recommend it. You may like the album more than me. And so there you go. Now, I am not good at rating an album based on a single listen. So my approach is that I'm going to listen to it live. I'm going to record it, unedited, giving my initial thoughts. And then I'm going to listen to the album like repeatedly for an entire week. And I'm going to do that because at the end of that week, I'm going to have differing opinions. Usually, I like things more after listening to it for a week. The music grows on me and I get used to the changes, and then I can appreciate it so much more. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes I like it less, but usually I like it more. So I think it's just a more fair way of going about this. So when I'm doing my walks, my daily multiple walks per day. That's when I'll be listening to it, taking notes. I don't like to research things too much before I listen to it. But during that week, I'll do more research. I'll check out some live performances potentially, and really get into it so I can really give it a fair shake. Now, today, I'm excited because I have been reading up a little bit. I put in a prompt and said, what is the first heavy metal album? And what I saw on the interwebs is that a lot of these bands get mentioned. Like, what about Blue Cheer? What about Sir Lord Baltimore? But the majority of the posts that I see arguing about what is the first metal album split pretty evenly between Black Sabbath's debut album and this album. Judas Priest, Sad Wings of Destiny. I've never listened to this album. This is a brand new thing for me. I did listen to Rock-A-Rolla, which is the album before this. Just actually before I recorded this, I listened to it. And I watched a couple of live performances. That album doesn't seem to be considered by anybody to be metal or even proto-metal. It's hard rock. It's kind of psychedelic. It's very similar to a lot of what I've been listening to, really. But this album seems to be the one that everybody points to as like, well, some people say British Steel, 1980. But most people that mention Judas Priest mention this one. So, this is my first time listening to this album. I'm super excited. Let's bring it up and get ready to check it out. All right, 9 songs, 39 minutes. So, those that say that metal is rock minus the blues also mention dual guitar, double bass drum, and all that stuff. Rob sounded pretty legit on Rock-A-Rolla. So let's see. The first song is called Victim of Changes, and it's got 8.9 million plays. Let's see what this is. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Whiskey woman, don't you know that you are driving me insane?
All right. I'm not super familiar with Judas Priest. Breaking the Law might be the only song I've ever heard from them before. Yeah, the drum fills feel way more metal. Okay, I was gonna say, like, the vocals, drums, and bass felt metal, but the guitar not as much until now. This, okay. We need a good guitar solo for this to really be proper metal.
Human, fooling, what's up? Hot guy, I want to know why is it right? Get out. You know you really blew it. I've had enough. Good God, pluck me.
Applauding. This sounds like the first proper heavy metal guitar solo. So many of the other guitar solos I've heard up to this point just sound like blues solos. Ooh, okay. This is the track on the album that has the most plays.
She was wonderful. When she was fine.
Assuming they're gonna bring it back.
She was beautiful. When she was mine. She was mine. Changes come over her body. She doesn't see me anymore. Now changes come over her body. She doesn't see me anymore. Changes.
I'm hearing some Led Zeppelin in, especially the vocals here.
Changes.
I mean, it's singing a lot lower, obviously, but in terms of the emotionality. Yep. Clearly, Ian from Deep Purple sounds influential on the vocals there. Outro solo with a fade out. Is that what we're doing? Turning it up a little bit. Ooh. No fade out. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, fuck yes. Okay. Now, I've heard heavy metal songs on non-heavy metal albums already. Black Sabbath being a great example. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, that first song, pretty metal. And then the rest of the album's like, okay, not so much. Still great, but that seemed to have all the elements it needs for me to consider it to be metal. We're off to a fantastic start. That was great. Like I was saying during the only Judas Priest I've listened to, let me do that so I can hear myself better. The only Judas Priest that I'm really familiar with is the Judas Priest songs that had videos on MTV in the 80s. I had MTV where I was growing up in the Midwest from the very beginning. So Breaking the Law, I'm definitely familiar with that. Any other videos they had, I'd be familiar with those as well. I can't name them offhand. I was always a little scared of the kids in school that were Judas Priest fans. Even when I became an Iron Maiden fan, I was still like, the Judas Priest fans were a little scarier. They were all in like a woodshop class and just, I don't know, they looked like they could fight. And I was not one of them. Awesome. Way different sound than Rock-A-Rolla that I listened to earlier. I even was watching another live performance of Dream Deceiver from like 1975, and Rob has super long hair, and they're all wearing like flowy like blouses. Doesn't look like Judas Priest to me, but this sounds way different. This sounds more like what I would expect from Judas Priest. All right, kick ass. We're off to a great start. The Ripper.
You're in for surprise. You're in for a shock. In London
some King
town
Diamond.
streets, when there's darkness and fog, when you least expect me, and you turn your back, I'll attack.
I love that guitar tone.
I smile when I'm sneaking through shadows by the wall. I laugh when I'm creeping, but you won't hear me at all. Oh, hear my warning. Never turn your back on the Ripper. You'll soon shake with fear, and never knowing if I'm near. I'm sly and I'm shameless.
This has the second most view plays
Nameless.
on YouTube Music.
For the Ripper. Or if you like, Jack the Knife.
Sound like you switch guitars there? Because you have two guitar players. Whew. It's menacing. Yeah, those guitars.
Any back alley street is where we'll probably meet. Underneath the gas lamp, where the air's cold and damp. I'm a nasty surprise. I'm a devil in disguise. I'm a footstep at night. I'm a scream of the fight. Oh, hear my warning. Never turn your back on the Ripper.
Yeah, don't turn your back on the Ripper. What are you doing? Turning your back on the Ripper. Yeah, again with like the almost King Diamond-esque. I mean, clearly this came before King Diamond, so like I just had never, like having not listened to a lot of Judas Priest, I knew he had a high voice, but I hadn't heard it quite like that. So I never really associated that style specifically with Priest. Because again, like Breaking the Law, like I don't remember him doing that on Break the Law. So clearly that's where King Diamond got it from. Right? Sweet. All right. Dreamer Deceiver, which has the third most plays. It looks like tracks 1, 2, and 3 are the 1, 2, second, and third, first, second, and third most plays on the album. So it seems like some people just start playing the album and then like stop it at some point. Not sure what that's about. All right, let's do it.
Standing by my window, breathing summer breeze.
It's almost 6 minutes long, so I'm assuming it's gonna evolve.
Us if we were happy. We said we didn't know. Took us by the hands and up we go.
Nope. Oh, false expectation. I heard the vocal effect and thought it was gonna get like, but not yet.
Follow the dreamer through the purple.
Nice bass tone.
Hazy clouds, he could control our sense
Nice drum tones as well.
of time. We thought we were lost, but no matter how we tried, everyone was in peace of mind. We felt the sensation
They're tricking me.
inside our frame, finding complete contentment there, and all the tensions that hurt us
All right, I'm fully expecting it to like do something here because it's
vanish.
seems to be coasting at this point.
Set in the cosmos
Okay.
is a single sonic sound that is vibrating constantly. And if we
Ooh, again, bass tone. Sounds great.
and hold on to the note, we would see our minds were free. Oh, they're free.
It's even more reminiscent of Child in Time by Deep Purple. Okay, start solo. All right. Nice solo. Nice guitars. Was it going straight? Go straight into the next one. Okay. This is something I noticed with the last album, Sabotage. When I was listening to it, the first 3 tracks on Sabotage, I forgot to mention this in that video. The first 3 tracks on Sabotage really like, the first song ends like halfway through a riff, and it really seemed like it was jarring to me. And then the second song kind of like starts abruptly, obviously halfway through a riff, and then the third song just starts right away. Like, and listening, like separating the songs into digital tracks, like clearly this isn't how it was meant to be listened to. It was meant to be listened to on an album where each song just goes into the next. And I wish I was wealthy enough that I could afford to get all of these albums on vinyl and listen to it on a hi-fi system on vinyl, drop the needle, listen to side 1, flip it, drop the needle, listen to that. Would be so much better. That's how these albums are meant to be listened to. As soon as you try to like start digitally separating the tracks, like something gets lost. And pausing between songs, something's getting lost in that. I didn't hold that against Sabotage by Black Sabbath. And listening to the remastered, it actually made more sense. I listened to both. Same thing here. That's supposed to go straight into the next track, and that's how it's meant to be experienced. So that was a ballad. Felt like a metal ballad, though. It had the vocals. It had the guitar toward the end. Like, yeah. Power ballad, maybe not a power ballad, but a metal ballad, sure. Deceiver is what it was going into next. Now, again, I haven't read a whole lot about this album. This is, like The Ripper, a much shorter track. It's not the shortest track on the album. It is the second shortest track on the album. So, Deceiver. Great mix. Driving. Ooh, Chucky. Nice. Yeah. I can't wait to watch live footage of this. I'll probably do that today, immediately after listening to this. Nice. A little classic outro. I can only imagine that the classical feel is very inspired by Blackmore, who was like the big proponent of like classic music intermixing with rock and roll. I have a concern. And that concern is that now that I'm hearing this, I had said earlier that once I found an actual proper metal album, and this is looking to certainly be it, any hard rock after that could no longer be considered proto-metal and would just be hard rock. Now, some of the lists that, the Kerrang list especially, listed some Aerosmith from around this time period. Oops. There's my thumbnail. It listed some Kiss. And I don't think Aerosmith or Kiss can be considered metal. Hard rock, sure. But not metal. Which is why I'm kind of disregarding the Kerrang list kind of going forward and like taking that with a grain of salt versus like the Rolling Stone list, which seems more legit. My concern is that some of like the hair metal, after hearing this, is it really metal? I didn't know if I thought it was before. Like Poison. Is Poison metal? It's hair metal, glam metal, but is it? And after hearing this, like even more so, like maybe it isn't, but it's what people thought was metal at the time, or at least like the masses, probably thanks to MTV. So I'll deal with that when I get to it. But like, this doesn't make Iron Maiden seem any less metal. I don't think my opinion is going to change on Iron Maiden, and I probably in the long run, I'm anticipating I'm still going to prefer Iron Maiden over this. This is great, but Iron Maiden, like, I don't know. I listened to so much Iron Maiden as a teenager that there's a nostalgic value for me. I'll need to try to like set that aside and be slightly more objective about it, I suppose. I haven't listened to those albums though in decades, so who knows? Maybe I'll have a different opinion when I listen to it again. But yeah, some of the glam metal that was inspired by like Montrose, like, is it metal? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get to it. Guns N' Roses. Is Guns N' Roses metal? I don't know anymore. We'll deal with it when we get to it. We're doing Judas Priest right now. So Prelude. This is the 4th track. This has the fewest plays on the album and is the shortest track. And then like Tyrant comes after it. Is Prelude going to go straight? If Prelude's going to go straight into Tyrant, I'm just going to run them together. Well, they're separate digital tracks anyway, so it's still going to have a little between them. So we'll see. Prelude. Compositionally interesting. Even if it's not that complex. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I was saying about Black Sabbath. Some of the more experimental Black Sabbath stuff just throw a little guitar in there, and suddenly it becomes a whole new thing. Almost reminds me of like some of like the symphonic or power metal we're going to hear later on. Okay, so it's clearly going into the next track. Nice way to end it. Very unexpected. Applause for that. Cool. All right, Tyrant has the fourth most plays, and it's about 4.5 minutes. And I was almost going to say, that doesn't sound like metal guitar, but then like that bass comes in and the drums. And then the vocals, come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, great riff. Yeah. Yes. Stereo. Guitar is trading off. That I get a double. Yeah. What a riff. I'm a sucker for guitar dual lead. We've been lacking that on everything I've listened to so far.
Tyrant was enthroned. serene as you are sought. Raptor of humanity, conqueror of all. Hideous destructor, every man shall.
Applause, yes. Oh, man. I am liking this so much more than I thought I would. Oh, 3 more tracks. This is going to be a great week. I'm looking forward to it. Listening to this at the gym and during walks. Oh, boy. Genocide. Very metal, very metal title there. Never a good thing. All right, let's do it. Love that drum fill. Nice. Using the guitar for the high note instead of the vocals. Why did my band never cover any of this stuff? This is great.
Sin after sin.
All right, well, that's a little goofy.
I have endured. Yet the wounds I bear are the wounds of love.
Love the drums. I think I read that this is the only album that they switched drummers after this. I'll look into that more. Oh. Hear the name of that effect. Oh. Yeah, great riff. You know it's a good riff when the brain wants to just lock in on rhythm guitar while the lead just kind of does whatever, like. We'll fade out. All right. I'm gonna have to write to my friend that was excited and be like, dude, you weren't fucking with me. You weren't kidding. Holy shit. So good. I may be more of a Judas Priest fan than I thought I was. All right, 2 more tracks. And they're slightly shorter. They're kind of in the middle. They're not the longest tracks. They're not the shortest tracks. About 350,000 plays a piece on YouTube Music. And I'm on the Judas Priest official account. I try to go there because it's probably going to be the best sound quality if it's on their page. So Epitaph. Felt like it was a little bit was cut off there.
The old man sitting there, his head bowed down. Every now and then he'll take a look around, and
Seeing hearing a different side of Rob.
The memory pain of years gone by.
That sounds very Queen-esque, yeah? I've already given Queen 2 a listen. I haven't done a video on it yet.
With trembling hands, he wipes a tear. Many fall like rain. There's one for every year, and his life laid out so clearly now. Life that's but death. So near.
Wow. Very Queen-esque. Not just the piano, but the piano and the harmonies.
But spare a thought as you pass him by. Take a closer look and you'll say he's out tomorrow just as much as we are his yesterday. A lonely grave and soon forgot. Only wind and leaves lament his mournful song. Yet they shout his epitaph out clear for anyone who's passing near. It names the The person lying here is you.
We're almost done.
And you. And you. And you.
It sounds like we're going straight into the next track. When it hard cuts like that, it's usually what that means. Now, if you had played this for me and said, what band do you think this is? I'm not sure I would have said Queen, because it doesn't sound like Freddie Mercury. I mean, but who does sound like Freddie Mercury besides Freddie Mercury? The approach... My cat's running on this cat wheel. Hey, buddy. Are you on your cat wheel? You are? Oh, yeah, you're very fast, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Look how fast you are. Yeah, you're so athletic. Yeah. Good job, bud. Right. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. Queen. The approach, clearly inspired by Queen there. He's back on it. He wants attention. I'll wait and start the next song after he is done exercising, because he's having a... Oh my gosh! Ginger cat. Single brain cell. All right. That may be my least favorite track on the album so far, just because it sounds the least like Judas Priest to me. Not a bad song. But you know, when the influence is coming through that strongly, I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it at the end of the week. Island of Domination. Last track. Yeah, straight from the last one. Ooh, meant to be listened to on vinyl. Okay.
Take heed. Our time is near. Brutality relinquished now. Brutality in all not seek to destroy. They smash through the clouds into the light of the moon. That's each from John.
Yeah, having two guitars is like a game changer. And granted, Blue Oyster Cult had two guitars, right? Pretty sure. But they weren't utilizing them like this. Although, to be honest, I can hear a little bit of Blue Oyster Cult in this.
We gotta get out of this place. There's a man with a needle who's bleeding to get to my face. Hide me and hold me, control free as best that you can. It's all becoming too much, I can't go for one man.
I may have to do shorts on the rest of the BOC stuff now that I'm hearing the connection to this. Yeah. Ooh, yes. Oh, almost done. Yeah. Well done, gentlemen. All right. Yeah, there's something about having like a really great guitar riff and then having a really great solo on top of it that just makes it so much heavier. And yeah, a band can like overdub themselves and have multiple tracks to like achieve that effect, but knowing that they can do this live and not have it sound thin during the solo, that is something. Okay, well, I think we found our first heavy metal album chronologically. Now, granted, I might go back and hear something else that's like, oh, actually, and I'm open to that. So, if you know of an album that is a definitely heavy metal album that came out before this one, definitely let me know, and I'll do it as a short, and I'll adjust my chart accordingly, because I'm going to keep all the proto metal, there we go, lined up, and then this one, wherever it's going to sit, is going to sit beside all of these, and we're going to start a whole new thing that is like classic metal. Beyond that, when it starts diverging into subgenres, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I'll figure that out. Whatever's going to look aesthetically pleasing is what I'll do. But the proto metal section is going to keep shrinking, just to make room for the other 150 albums I'm going to be listening to or whatever. So I'm going to listen to this for a week. I'm going to look up some live performances like later today, and do some more research into this, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to just immerse myself in this album for a week. And I'll pick out a couple of other things I'll do shorts on as well. That's before this. I'll smash them into the proto metal thing. If those shorts aren't metal, I'll smash them in. I got it figured out now. So I will see you in one split second. This has been a delightful week. I have enjoyed listening to this album all of this week. It more than made up for the short that I listened to as well, that I didn't much care for. That the video for that went earlier this week. Apology, sorry, not sorry to the Kiss fans out there. Not my thing at all. Ew. But Judas Priest turns out totally my thing. I had no idea. Growing up, when I was in like elementary school and junior high, before I was into any metal at all, I remember seeing the videos, Breaking the Law, Another Thing Coming. Anything they had a video on MTV, I was familiar with that because I was watching MTV. But all the kids that wore like Judas Priest t-shirts, I was kind of scared of all those kids. I was a scrawny little nerdy kid in elementary school and junior high, and the Judas Priest fans were scary. And then when I got into high school, I was getting into metal in the late 80s. And so Judas Priest just they weren't as flashy as the stuff that I was getting into. So I just never really listened to them. But yeah, this album, when I first started rating the songs, it would have scored a very high A, very high A album overall. The more I listened to it, it's a very consistent album. I was giving the lowest score to, and still the lowest score goes to, Epitaph, the second to last song on the album. It's very Queen-like, but without any Freddie Mercury, which, I mean, it's good, but it doesn't feel like it's genius, you know? But at the same time, it flows into that last song so well. And that really is like, these albums are meant to be listened to as albums, all aside one, flip the album or flip the tape, all aside two. That's how it's meant to be listened to. And I have to take that into account overall. So Epitaph is my least favorite, but still a great song. What ended up pushing it over the edge, and we'll just move it up right now, is the song Tyrant. I have a lot of songs that I rated at 4.5, but Tyrant ended up being my favorite song on the album. And it is because of the harmonies. The harmonies on the chorus, it's like two-part harmony. I'm assuming it's Rob doing both parts. There's a higher part and there's a lower, like, counter melody. I'm a sucker for melody, for harmonies like that. I'm a sucker also for dual guitar harmonies, which I'm finding throughout this album as well. But that vocal harmony really pushes that one particular song into like perfect song category for me. It just barely squeaked into the S tier column for me, much like Sabotage did from Black Sabbath. I am delighted that what I would consider to be the first classic heavy metal album is such a great representation of the genre. It'd be disappointing if the first one was like, this is okay, it's creating a new genre, but no, I can see why. Screen Rant listed this as one of their 10 out of 10 metal albums from the 1970s, even though they put Kiss Destroyer on that list as well. And Kerrang, same thing. The Kerrang Top 100 greatest heavy metal albums of all time from 1989 is a super questionable list that's got some very questionable things on there. But this one is number 17, just behind Metallica Ride the Lightning and Deep Purple in Rock. So, yeah, I think I'm surprised it didn't make Rolling Stone's Top 100 list of all time. And in fact, if I go back and look at my list, the next Judas Priest album is Sin After Sin. That one won a Grammy. Then Stained Class, that one made Rolling Stone's list. So their fourth album, I guess it would be, made Rolling Stone. So it sounds like they're going to get even better, which is, I would say it's hard to imagine, but no, I can imagine it. I can imagine more songs being like perfect 5-star songs and not just a bunch of 4.5s, which is what a lot of the album got from me. I love it. It's super near perfect, but I don't get super crazy excited when the song comes on like I do with Tyrant or some of the Black Sabbath stuff that I've heard, or some of the Deep Purple stuff, you know. Maybe that'll change over time. It's not going to change the rating of it. It's already an S tier, so it's not going to change the rating. So whatever. Next week, I mean, for me, it's like here in 10 minutes, but next week, Rainbow Rising, the other album from this time period that apparently kicked off the era of classic heavy metal. So I am super looking forward to that. Love all the comments coming in, even the ones that are critical. I love it. Keep that engagement up. I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to moving into this new era of the history. As I do, the hard rock proto metal will continue to shrink down as this stuff takes more real estate in the middle. I will continue to revisit albums from that era as shorts, prioritizing ones that have gotten more than one recommendation. For stuff that's not metal is being recommended, I'm going to listen to it. I may not do a video on it, but I'm going to listen to everything being recommended, including that Sea Shanties album. I'm not going to review that one, but the first track was pretty heavy. Thank you for recommending it. The rest of the album, anyway, so keep the recommendations coming, and especially as we move into this new era, my list gets. I've got lots of stuff that is good for shorts as well, but I can always use a little bit more. So, in the meantime, you have a great rest of your whatever, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.